We can talk about other goals, which one will say, yes, take the blame as individuals, but I think 5 and 6 we could have done better. With the corner kick, critical phase, the number 15 picked the player inside the box between the three defenders of Jwaneng Galaxy. We failed to deal with the ball. Goal number 5, we had an opportunity to play a forward pass because they were starting to drop in terms of their physical energy. So we had to play a lot of forward passes, which we did not do. We ended up losing. But it's a game of football. As I said yesterday, we'll take lessons. I'm disappointed that we lost. I'm disappointed that we did not execute the plan the way we wanted. But it's a lesson. It's a game of football. Yes, to be honest, I'm very disappointed. But there's nothing you can do. We had 90 minutes to try and correct whatever that happened. But unfortunately, we could not.
Questions? Yes?
Congratulations, coach, for the game.
Sit down, please.
Your name and the region. My name is Maila from Park Division. I'm interested here. First of all, failure to make one against you in the second half will lead to say that team was done too much to you, as we failed also to score a level in home match. The second one is, don't you think that your team had so much to do out of the pitch? To do what out of the pitch? There was so many goals before the game, and most of your players went goal. So do you think that the team had so much to do out of the pitch than on the field of play?
What were they supposed to do when they are being attacked? Players. So they were supposed to keep quiet and be attacked. They were supposed to keep quiet while the door is closed for them to go into the stadium. That's what you're saying.
What they were doing was not a statement.
It was a responsibility for who? Because we are an away team and the security guys are taking them. So who was supposed to protect us? If the same security were taking us, what were we supposed to do?
You were supposed to walk around.
And do what? Because I was part of the people that were trying to open the door and they refused to open the door. So, sorry, please, ask questions like a journalist, not like a Simba supporter. Yeah, please. And understand one thing. We were here, we were supposed to protect ourselves. How are we going to protect ourselves? If people who were hired to protect both teams were only attacking us, what were we supposed to do? You are saying we're supposed to stop and fold our arms when we are attacked. That's what you're saying. If Simba was getting the same treatment in Botswana, will you be happy? There's nothing to explain because yours is to ask questions pertaining the game, not what you are saying. You are talking about our team using too much energy of the field. What is that? You are saying we were fighting people who were fighting us. What are we supposed to do? Keep quiet and allow them to beat us. Are you aware of the injuries we are having here? And you are excited, you come sit there and you tell us what we are supposed to do. While you are aware, you do not even record whatever that happened here. And you have the guts to come and ask me that my players were doing too much on the field. What kind of a question is that?
Okay, come to the next question, then I'll ask.
Thank you very much. Go to the next question.
The next question was, I asked if you think that Simba was too much bigger than you, because you failed even to make one attempt in the second half, and you made only 2 attempts in the first half. While you also failed to score again in home ground.
Please rephrase your question. Rephrase your question. If you say Simba was big for us, we are playing Champions League with Simba. Which Simba was bigger than us?
Can you say that they overpowered you on the field?
I don't think you hear me. No, please, my brother, please, with due respect, interpret what I said, not what you wanted to hear. I never said Simba overpowered us. I said we made mistakes, we lacked leadership, and lacking leadership does not mean that opponents overpowered us. One thing that happened in the match, Simba had a plan of playing forward passes, which ended up maybe managed to allow them to get goals. 2, we created opportunities. Maybe we were watching another match, you did not see the 1v1 that we missed, you did not see other opportunities. So a game of football, the way it was, Simba were home, Simba were desperate for goals. Obviously, areas where they wanted to play were sometimes available for them to play, but I don't really believe that on the day, they really dominated. They played to score. Even if you can go through maybe the stats, you will see how many forward passes they have made today, which resulted in them scoring goals. And for obvious reasons, they were playing home, they wanted to win the match.
I have a question.
I watch many South African Mwandishi. I have just one question. For the first half, Simba created impact on the balls 2 times, but we managed to score a goal. By 10 times in the fourth half, they needed to score 2 goals.
Let me answer the way I understand. I did not get you clearly, but I think you are talking more about the central dominance of the number 6 and maybe winning most of the second balls. Let's be honest, when you look at the time, I think within 23 minutes we had already considered 2 goals. And we had to try and restructure the team, try to push numbers forward. But when we try to push numbers forward, that's when they will always get the space, because let's be honest, the right winger, the left winger, Jobe, were not defending. So every time they win the ball, they had 3 players or they had 3 outlets where they can play the ball to. So you had a choice whether to sit deep with your 4 plus maybe 2, or to push forward and try to get the ball. Unfortunately on the day, I think whatever that we wanted to do never connected well, and if things are like that, you are bound to lose and you are bound to be on the losing side. So I think to be honest, we made a lot of errors which affected our momentum, which affected our rhythm, and I think that's how we ended up maybe conceding some of the goals. Because if you look at the goals we conceded, they're more or less the same. They will go wide to play the cutbacks, they will go wide to play across. So I think 1, we're supposed to deal with the overload on the side. 2, track the late runners into the box, especially number 10, because he was very effective in terms of charging the box late. And the reason why he was always effective, Jobe was pushing us into the box, and when Jobe pushes us into the box, the number 10 makes a late run. Number 17, instead of playing too wide, he would come inside when the ball is on this other side. So those are some of the elements which I think they did them right, and they managed to get goals from them.
Another question? Yes?
First of all, sorry for being disappointed. I want to know, Coach, where did you play tactically, generally, during the game?
Like I indicated, that they were playing more on the side. We had a plan of overloading the side so that they can penetrate. But I think, let's be honest, the first goal is scored around the 4th minute. And obviously when you consider A, there's a possibility that it will knock confidence, it will affect your game plan. Because now, if you say to a fullback, don't go forward, stay deep, try to deal with number 38, and say to your other fullback, try to control the number 17 who's coming into the half space, and say to the 2 central midfielders, block and control number 10. So obviously, you have about 6 players who can't give you numbers when you go forward. And at the same time, you want to score. So obviously, those errors will come. I think all the goals they scored from our turnovers, when you make a mistake, they will take the ball and play forward quickly. Like I said, the 3 were not defending. So if the 3 is not defending, obviously if you push your fullback high and the other fullback is staying, then it means you have your centre backs plus the fullback. Then there's a space where they can play. And they had this number 10 who was always cheating, connecting late into the area. Very intelligent player who knew when to get into the right area. So I think we considered early, and that was the turning point, because we were also here for 3 points.